Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda with Makeup by Amanda, and today we will be doing this eye look, this face look for a simple wedding makeup tutorial, and I'm hoping that you guys really enjoy this look. It is really in-depth and detailed, so if you're ready for that, stay tuned and let's get to it. This will be segment 2 of the two-part video for simple bridal makeup. The first one was simple bridal hair, so this one's going to be how to create a simple wedding look with your makeup. So I'm going to be walking you through the steps on how to do a very simple, natural wedding makeup look. I personally am a cosmetologist and makeup artist. I have been doing hair and makeup for over 7 years now, and I am really glad that I can do this for you guys, because I feel so bad that a lot of you will have to either do your own hair for your wedding or your own makeup because of the coronavirus. So I thought I would do my part in showing you guys a really simple look that you can complete on your own with products that are not very expensive. And a lot of these things you can still get online right now, even with the coronavirus. There's still shipping, especially Morphe, using some Morphe products, everything from Ulta is pretty much still shipping. So there's so many things you can still get right now. So I'm going to go through what I did for my bridal shower. It also kind of mimics the look that I had for my wedding that my best friend Hannah did for me. She did my makeup for my wedding day because I did not want to do it, so I had her do it. But this is what I would have done if I was doing my own makeup. So let's get to it. I'm gonna have you guys zoomed in here just so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I have to stop putting my hair in front of me because I like to do that when I have curls, but I keep forgetting it's up, so it looks weird. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, we're going to start with priming our face. I'm going to use the Becca Blacklight primer. Now with this thing, with wedding makeup, you definitely want to wear a good primer. Especially if you're going to be having a lot of pictures taken, and that's usually what happens during weddings. This is very good because it actually does help with the finish in your photography. So it will help minimize pores and everything, and that's why it's called a blacklight primer, because it's good for you know, any lighting. It will help make your face look so much more, it's almost like an airbrush effect. So this is just the primer. It is a little bit tinted, but it does not at all act like a foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this actual foundation brush. It's a flat brush. I don't use this for my foundation, but I do use it sometimes for my primer just because it does apply it evenly. So I just put a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to take my mirror here because I need to make sure I'm watching and looking at you. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. I kind of like dot it over first. And you don't need it to like cover, like, you know, like you don't need a ton of coverage for it, because it's really just going to fill in your pores and make everything just look more smooth and finished at the end. Now for this look, I am going to put a lash on as well at the end. If you do not feel comfortable using lashes, you by any means do not have to, but I just feel like the lashes will make it look more professional. And then it will make you feel like you've had your makeup done. So what I'm doing now is that I put my primer on, and then I'm going to do my foundation. Now before I put my foundation on, I'm going to use this iconic London Illuminator in shade Original. And this is actually a very light highlight. It is buildable coverage. See, it is a dropper. It's a liquid. And with liquid highlights, I like to put them under my foundation because it can show through. This is a very glowy one, so it will give me that natural glow without me having to put a ton of highlight on at the end and make it look cakey. You don't want that cakey look. You want it to look very airbrushed and natural. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to take the little roller ball, and I'm just going to put it a little bit on my my area here. I'm going to put a little above my brow. And I'm not really squeezing anything out because it is on a roller ball. It will drop out a little bit, but you don't want that much. And I'll put a little bit there, and then maybe a little above, like on my cupid's bow. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my primer, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend that in right there to every area I put it in, because right now I'm not caring about like what it looks like, because if it is too bright, the foundation's gonna blur it out. This is just really creating a base for your foundation to make it look as much airbrushed and polished as possible. Now I am breaking out a little bit because I did do a face mask the other day. Not that I always break out when I do a face mask, but I did a clarifying, detoxifying one, and that one usually does break me out. I am going to use my beauty blender today, and I just realized she's not wet, so that's okay. Normally we would wet our beauty blender. I know what I'll do. Instead of wetting it with water, I'm going to wet it with my Becca Skin Finish. Becca Love. That way, basically it's mostly a lot water, so that's fine too. But make sure you wet your beauty blender. And then I'm going to use my Benefit Hello Happy in shade 1. It is a soft blur foundation. If you want more coverage, you can use a different one. This is a buildable foundation though, and I wore this with my Becca one on my wedding day, mixed them together, and it was perfect. My best friend did that. I don't know like how she did it, but she's very good at that stuff. So now I'm just going to take the beauty blender and I'm just kind of bouncing it all over my face. You do want to bounce it because you want it to blend in. It gives it almost an airbrush effect. We're going to need some more. I do find on the beauty blender I end up using more product than when I don't use a beauty blender. I think it's just because the sponge, it does take a lot of the product. So I'm really kind of just stamping that on my face, and it's giving me that look of, oh, like I already did it. I'm even putting it on top of my eyes. Put it everywhere, guys. Bounce it. Look how blended that's looking already, and I have barely even started. And it will show that highlight through. We're gonna need a little bit more. I know I don't normally do my foundation on camera, but this is part of the wedding look. Your foundation and your base is everything with your wedding makeup, especially when you're doing it for a wedding. If you're a makeup artist and you're watching this to do wedding makeup, you need to make sure you have the base down. If you do not have the base down, your look is not going to matter what you do on the eyes. It's not going to matter what you do anywhere else. How long your lashes are, how long anything is, it is going to be very apparent that you don't know what you're doing if your base is horrible. Not saying that your base will be horrible. I'm just saying you need to make sure that's what your focus is, because anyone can fix eyeshadow. You cannot fix your base once it's down. I mean, you could correct it a bit or whatever you need to do, but if you don't have your base and the color doesn't match and it's not down the neck and everything doesn't look almost as if you airbrush them, then that is not going to cut it. So here I am. I'm still just pounding that foundation. I'm literally just pounding that foundation into my skin. Like, I'm not even like product anymore. I'm just making sure that in every pore I have it. Like, I do have some larger pores at the moment. You even want to kind of cover your lips a bit. Doesn't really matter. You want to make sure you get your whole neck. You want to get every area you possibly can, because you want it to look so blended that nobody would even know that you did it yourself. Okay, so now that I did that, see how like nice my base is? I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my concealer, and that is also part of your base. So I'm using my Becca Illuminating Concealer, putting it under my eyes, doing like the triangle thing. This is really almost gone. And then I'm just going to find any little pimples or any like rough patches that I'm insecure about. I am kind of breaking out right now. I break out once in a while. And like I said, I did do a mask and it was clarifying, so I'm going to take the Becca Skin Mist and I'm going to go to the pointy side for this. And I'm just going to spray the Beauty Blender with that. We don't need a ton because we're just using the point, and we're going to put the concealer on. Now, concealer is still part of your base. I mean, I put it on top of my foundation so it does everything. It does cover pretty much everything. You want to make sure that you don't see those bags or wrinkles. Most of you probably won't sleep the night before your wedding. I know I didn't. It's one of the best days of your life, but the most nerve-wracking. Getting ready anyway. Once you get there, you're fine. Trust me. I think the whole way to my wedding, I said, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna throw up. I did not though, guys. I did not. I made it. I was fine. So here we go. We have our concealer down. I'm sorry if it looks a little bit yellow in this light. It shouldn't, because in person it doesn't. I will insert a photo of what it looks like at the end. So now that I have that down, I'm gonna do what we call baking. And for like my normal everyday, I don't usually bake, but because I did put my foundation on first, definitely baking everything. So I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender. Of course, I always close my mirror because I think I can do it in the viewfinder, or whatever the heck you call that area that I can see myself in on the camera. The screen maybe is what it's called. Yeah, this whole baking that way is not working. Okay, so we're gonna use I'm using my Nars translucent powder for this, by the way. Maybe it's not coming out a lot because I am almost out of it, guys. Maybe that's why it's bothering me. And we're just really going to focus it underneath our under eyes, and anywhere we put extra product, concealer. It's translucent. It's not going to change the way that any of your makeup looks, except it does buff out. I find that the Nars translucent powder is a really good buffer. It kind of like makes things erase in a way that I can't explain. It erases a lot of like pores and stuff like that without a ton of products. I'm using a ton right now because I'm pretending that well, I'm not even using a ton. You cover your whole face in it, even your neck. You don't want anything on your wedding dress. That's the problem, is a lot of people end up getting makeup all over their dress. Do your makeup before you put your dress on. And if it has to go over your head, I don't know. I didn't have that problem. I had a strapless, so I put it on literally 5 minutes before I walked down the aisle. Okay, so now that I baked that, I'm going to close that, and I'm gonna do just I'm using a peachy blush. Actually, I think what I'll do is I like this one. It's a very like petally pastel color. So I'm going to be using this one right here. It doesn't have a name. This is the 10 blush palette from Coastal Scents. We're just going to put it on the cheeks. It's a very bridal color. It's also a very fair color. Sometimes I like to take this big fluffy one after too and blend the blush in, especially with wedding makeup, because the blending is literally everything. You don't want to give yourself too much of a red face because you probably will turn red. Like I would never go in with any of these types of colors. Like use a very pale one. Like, and either of those would be okay. Even that one would be okay, just very lightly. This one would be okay. Pretty much the whole top row except that middle one there would be okay. Okay. So here's that. I'm going to do a little contouring. I'm going to use a very simple contour just with this Matchbox. I'm going to use that color I normally use. Focusing it on my, like where I can make the dog face. That's where we're focusing it, guys. We don't want to go insane though. Okay, I'm gonna take this little one and I'm gonna take the contour on it. Oh, there's a mirror on this, guys. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose. You can do this anywhere that really like is an area you want to carve out. I'm going to take that big brush and I'm going to blend that out as well. You shouldn't see any lines. You should just tell that it's contoured. I'm also going to take, where did my big one go? I'm also going to take the same brush I took before and I'm going to put a little bit really close to my forehead and my hairline to make me look like that, and a little under here, and again drag it down to your neck a little bit. So it should look really natural. We're going to do that. So now that that's pretty much for what we're going to do for our face, we're going to move on to the eyes. Now what I'm going to be using is the Morphe Jaquline Hill Collab palette. It has really nice colors in it. I will list the colors I used below because they are on the back. The names aren't on the pans, which kind of is annoying. But I will try my best to keep you guys going with me. The most important thing you're going to want to do is prime your eyelids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion or whatever primer potion you happen to have your hands on. So you're going to just put that all over your whole lid. Blend it all, spread it all over your lid. I know we put foundation on them too, but it doesn't matter. The eyeshadow will stick to this. Okay. Now, I'm going to use really light colors. I think I'm going to go in with this one right here, which behind it, it's the third row. Oh gosh, which way does it go? Okay, the third row, first one is called Obsessed. And then the one next to it that I'm going to use a little bit of is SBN. I don't know what that name is, but there's dots in between it. So we're going to go in with a lid brush. I'm going to use my MAC 217, and I'm going to use that Obsessed color. And we're going to put it right on the lid. Now this is a very light color, and it's light on purpose. You don't want your wedding makeup to be very striking. You could use the next color over that I'm gonna use as well, but I feel like that might be a little bit too much for an all over lid. You want your lid to be very nice, and if you don't like shimmer, there's shimmer non-shimmer options at the top. But I do like the shimmer because you want to look like a bride. Brides usually shimmer a little bit, you know? So I put that all over my eyelid first. And then I'm going to take a crease brush, and I'm going to go in with that SBN color. That's a little shimmery too, but that's okay. We're going to put it right into our crease here, and we're using circular motions to go in the crease. And see how it darkens that up a little bit, but it's not too much. So I'm just going to take it a little bit again. These are a little bit pinky toned, but I like that. If you don't like that, you can obviously go for something else. I'm just trying to show you how to apply a look that is very wearable. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other eye. Circular motions, a little bit of windshield wipering. So I have that color now in the crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this color right here, and it is called, what is it called here? Sorry guys, this is annoying. It's called Buns, I think. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, it's called Buns. It's that one right there. And that one's a matte. I'm just going to take that very slightly on that same brush, and I'm gonna use that as like almost like a transition color in the middle here. And we're just gonna windshield wiper it to diffuse between the two. Gonna do the same thing. Okay, so now it looks like that. I'm going to take a big blending brush like this, and I'm going to, it has nothing on it, just blend it out a little bit more. And that's all the eyeshadow we're going to use. Right now we should look like this. Be very simple when we look down. So we have that going on. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some mascara, and then we're going to apply some lashes. Like I said, if you can't apply lashes, you don't have to. I'm going to do the lashes off camera because it will take me like 10 minutes, and I don't want you to watch that for 10 minutes. Though I do want to say about lashes, I've already pre-cut mine, but cut them to the size of your eye, because if you don't cut them and they're just way too long, they're going to poke you in your inner corner of your eye, and it's going to be really aggravating. I also forgot to do a brow bone shade, so I'm going to take this color called Beam at the top right here, and I'm literally just going to put it right under the brow bone. Just brightens it up a bit. sure it blends in. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put lashes on and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have my eyelashes on and now I'm just putting a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes. Also going to put a little bit of black liner underneath on my waterline. Now, hopefully you guys can figure out how to do the lashes. There's a million lash tutorials on YouTube, but it's so hard for me to do lashes on camera because I don't even do them correctly. I literally just like plop them on. I mean, they go on and stay on, but I mean, I don't do them to directions. But I do use this little tool that comes with it, and it's so helpful to grab the lashes, or a tweezer that's just happened to be in front of my face. So now that I have the lashes on, that's how the eyes look. Now, so the next step would be a lipstick or lip gloss, whatever you feel comfortable with. I wore a lip stain. I actually wore Lolita in the Kat Von D liquid lip stain. I can't find it right now. It's going to be somewhere. But I am going to use the Urban Decay Back Talk, which is a very similar color to what I wore on my wedding day. I like to go like pretty nude. It's like a peachy. I mean, it's not bright like that on camera. I mean, in person I'll put it on. We'll see. You can wear a gloss over top. For my wedding, I didn't. I actually threw my lipstick on like 5 seconds before I walked down the aisle. So, that is the finished look there. I will do that. I will also insert pictures so you guys can see. So as you can see, it's not that difficult to achieve something that is really beautiful with just a few products. I will say setting mist is going to be your best friend, so we'll put that on now. I just literally the whole face and neck, get it, and then you just let it dry. It literally will make your makeup perfect, all of that. It will make it stay. You really need to just make sure you have all of that on. So I hope that helped you guys. I feel honestly horrible that you guys are going through this. I know if my wedding were this year, I would be freaking out. But I hope you know there are a lot of us out here that do want to help you be able to still have the perfect day. So if you have any questions, feel free to either message me or leave a comment down below. I will answer it. You can find me on Instagram at simply.amanda.mua, and you can direct message me there. I'll leave all the links in the description box. I will leave the links to all the, not the links, the descriptions of all the products I used in the description box as well. And like I said, this is part 2 of the segment, so hopefully you can use both parts together and it will help you. And as always, for any other makeup tips, follow me and subscribe, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and you will see some videos in the next few days that I hope will help you guys out. That's all for now, but if you guys need anything, like I said, please comment below and I will do my best to help you. Have a wonderful day. Bye!